just a moment for everything to load, but I think we are good. Looks like the tube is up. Both Facebooks look like they're up. So yeah, we should be good to go. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just getting my morning cardio done, got my workout done. I have not voiced over the vlog. I had to do a client call after my workout, so that took another hour or so. I don't have the vlog recorded yet, but had a really good workout. Super happy with it today. Benching went good. Did pause squats instead of normal squats. So when a hair light, I'm trying to work on getting really deep on those pauses, but deadlifting, benching was good. I ended up doing some rows at the end. So instead of throwing in some hammer curls, I'm like, I don't need hammer curls. I need to make sure my biceps recover. If we want a little more arm, let's just do some axle bar and pen leg rows. And those felt good. I used to do a lot of those. They carry over to my deadlift extremely well. So there is that. Dingleberry, I'm getting stronger from workout to workout, but eating a lot. Is that okay? I don't feel too fat in the mirror and I can do like 9 chin-ups. Okay, Dingleberry, probably. I mean, I don't know how much weight you're gaining. I don't know how fast you're gaining weight. I don't know what's up with your body fat. That's very much a personal thing as far as that goes. I don't have, a direct answer for you, brother. It depends on what you're comfortable with in terms of body weight and body fat. But if you're gaining more than like a pound a month, it is fat gain, right? You're not gaining more than a pound of muscle from where you are right now. It's simply not happening, unless you started your first, cycle of that there stuff. You know what I mean? Also hit that like button, guys, if you're on the tubes. All right. But I hope we get a nice little lively active stream here. I think that title will help. So let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about that. That kind of something that people pointed out to me. I kind of did that whole thing with Nippard and the fake Natty thing, saying, yeah, this was definitely a bad move on his part. But, it turns out that, I talked about him talking about the one dude in there. I can't even remember the dude's name now, whatever. But then he had mentioned Hussein also, and he did this whole thing about Hussein and not understanding that not only does the guy look like he's obviously on gear, it's the time frame of that transformation was ridiculous. He gained way too much muscle way too quickly. And he said, no, I think he's naturally endorsing as a natural. And then it turns out that, what's his name? Yeah, he talks like this. That guy. Why can't I remember names today? You guys, Greg Doucette, right? Greg Doucette pretty much said, no, Hussein totally did a cycle. I knew all about it. And so that's the thing. He's like confirmed fake Natty, and Nippard came in and endorsed him as a Natty. It's just like this stuff gets ridiculous, guys. And that just shows you how bad this fake Natty situation is when Nippard, who pimps himself as a Natty and all this stuff, is now science-based natural, endorsing all these fake Natties and getting caught in endorsing fake Natties. It's like, come on, guys. Let's just be honest. The whole industry is built around it, right? But yeah, I agree. Bocephus, Hussein, and Hussein and Julian are not Natty, not even remotely close. And yet he endorsed both of them. And then the Hussein thing, after he did it, got called on it. Doucette came out and pretty much said, no, Hussein was juicing this whole time. I didn't even saw a person. We talked about it. And, Nippard's over here and endorsing him, claiming it's evidence-based. Oh, my God. Let's get over to you guys' other questions here. Harthel says, Jason, can you rate these programs Ice Cream Fitness 5.5, Ice Cream Fitness 2.0? Those are my programs that I wrote. The Arnold Golden 6, Reg Park 5x5, the linear hypertrophy program, The linear is just a linear hypertrophy program, right? It was just the linear hypertrophy program that I wrote a basic template on the spot for people, right? Not really a big deal, right? Not really a big deal. But I think those are all work. Every one of those work. All those programs work for novices. Dan Letterman says, what was your first cycle, Jace? Can you recall what it felt like when you first? I don't remember what it felt like. Gosh, we're talking over 20 years ago. It was 250 sust a week, sustanon, 200 deca a week. So 450 total. That was my first one. I gained like 40 pounds. A lot of it was fat and water though. So it was 10 weeks long because I had 10 milliliters of each. Thoughts on Smolov Jr. for break? I'm not a fan. I don't like any of those Russian squat programs and stuff. I'm just not a fan. Nope. We already know that you're a troll. We'll put you in timeout. We already put you in timeout yesterday. Yes, I'm continuing to run barefoot. I ran barefoot yesterday. I'm going to run barefoot tomorrow. People that take Sustanon to 2025 are moronic. They think it's special because it sounds exotic, right? But back then, it was pharma grade, right? Totally different world. So mine was literally in ampules from Organon. So it was the old school pharma. Hey, Coach, bank holiday weekend in the UK. Like, Americans don't know what that means. I lived in the UK, so I know what that means. Americans have no clue what a bank holiday is, right? Can I just eat and have fun training, keep my body fat somewhat in check? Sure you can, Dingleberry. It's up to you, man. Hardlow says, so can you please help me with which program I should go to when diet is on point? Yeah, dude, hit me up for a consultation. Like, I can't go through a stream and pick the best program for you in a live stream. I don't know anything about you. However, it's a weekend. I have plenty of consultation slots. If you want to hire me for a consultation, I'll be happy to get in a call and help you figure out what is optimal for your situation. So hit me up on Facebook. I'll be more than happy. We'll be more than happy to do that, brother. All right. All right, that's probably enough for the profile. We just need to make sure we get some reels and stuff. So Dingleberry says, and then do a slow cut after I establish a large strength base like a 4 or 5 squat. I mean, you can, but I'm just saying you probably shouldn't get fat. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. It's just not a good idea for you to gain a bunch of fat. It's not keepable, right? Just be aware you're not going to gain muscle faster because you gain fat. Now, if you're doing it just because you don't want to track, that's fine. But just understand there is no benefit to you trying to do that. Like, you don't gain muscle faster just because you gain strength faster while gaining fat. I've made numerous videos explaining why that is. No, my hair loss is a result of genetics. Right? My hair loss is a result of genetics, dude. Male pattern baldness runs in my family. Dan says, thoughts on using the 5-3-1 split, bench squat over press deadlift, blah, 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 and a hypertrophy base. Sure, you could. But just keep in mind, the 5-3-1 template is just a 3-week programming way for your classic lifts. It's fine. It works. Any chance of Ice Cream Fitness 3.0? Will you make it? Maybe one day. Coach, can you explain to me the phenomenon of Anatoli? He's so small and yet can literally deadlift compared to. No, he can't. The phenomenon of Anatoli, you mean trickery, a little bit of fake weights, really whippy bars with bumper plates? You mean that? He's a sub 500-pound deadlifter. Okay. When he went to nationals in his country, he pulled 200 kilograms in the 165-pound class. So, I mean, he's not that strong. He's a mid-tier power lifter. There's definitely some trickery that happens, and he's not that small. He's really lean. But he competed in the 165 class. So you figure he's about 170 pounds. Like, again, there's a lot of fake weight and nonsense in acting. Just be aware, like, those are all actors at this point. So he's in entertainment. He runs a parody page and a parody channel. That's it. He's not like an elite lifter. Like, you know that, right? Hopefully you're smart enough to have figured this out. Like, you do realize he is not an elite lifter. Like I would destroy him in a powerlifting meet, even at my age. Like he can't hang with me. Okay. I mean, he's not some weak guy, but he's a mid-tier powerlifter. So again, you're looking at a little trickery, a little bit of entertainment, and it's all just for fun. Right? The people who go from a 225 squat to 405 a year, yeah, of course, you're going to have to gain a lot of muscle to do that. Did Jeff have a pillow with your face on it? Yeah, he did. I don't know who Doc Kink is. It sounds familiar, but I don't really remember who that is. So I definitely don't have thoughts on him. I've heard the name. I just can't remember who he is. That's my whole thoughts. But I mean, I'm looking at his videos. I can see all the bumpers and whippy bars. Like, come on, dudes. Keep in mind, a lot of these guys end up helping other people with their trickery just for the money, right? There's money, there's clout, there's entertainment. Like, I wouldn't accept that. Like, remember the Up Powerlifter 2.0 or whatever that guy was? He was fake benching, and still Piana still kind of had him on there, and they had fun with it. Do I have to train neck-roll compounds? Depends on what your goals are. If you compete in a contact sport, I would recommend training your neck. Doc, hey Keith, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. We don't care about people's PPs and all. Like, just you're gonna have to go in timeout. Sorry, we don't need whatever weird kinky stuff you're into in here. This is a fitness channel. So, like, if I get all my compounds strong, will my neck be big automatically? Sure, it'll get bigger. But if we're talking maximizing certain stuff for protective purposes, you may want to do some neck work. If you ever go back to entertainment coach, I have no plans on it. I'm not saying, right? I have a super chat. Sure, Dan, if you leave it as a super chat. I mean, I'm not going to delete a super chat. So go ahead. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to answer the question. Hey, Carol, what's up, dude? I'm also in the Facebook if you help your brother out there too. What do you think about how do you want me to assess a dead man's IQ? I've already done countless videos on Minzer. You already know my opinions. I've gone into in detailed length of Minzer, the problems with his stuff. The fact that his training was good when he was a competitor, and then he went crazy. He got hooked on meth and wrote a bunch of crazy meth-fueled stuff that doesn't work. So that's my cliff notes. I've done like 10-minute long videos breaking it down. I don't care what a dead guy's IQ was, who was just a bodybuilder. Like, nobody cares. Like, I don't even have time to try to ascertain that. I don't know that he'd get a Stanford Benet done at some point. He was obviously an intelligent guy, but there's a lot of flaws in his methodology as well. But again, keep in mind, Minzer went crazy and was using self-medicating with meth to deal with his own mental issues when he wrote all that insane stuff later with the 1 set a week. I don't know what you're talking about, Dan. So where's your super chat that you talked about? Hit that like, guys. I'm going to reach up and ring Coach's bell. Let's see. Never mind, Dan. I just realized you guys to go. All right. Tell them, old PA Sam, reach up and hit that like button for Coach. That's what we need. All right. Do we have any actual training? We're getting like no training questions hardly other than the next stuff. So Dingleberry. So since that's the last real training question we got, I guess we'll scroll back up to that. What party drugs? Tons of them. Like, you want me to narrow it down? I mean, this has all been pretty public. Bodybuilders have talked about this ad nauseum. Heroin, meth, coke, they're all a problem in the bodybuilding world. What? Hussein says, Coach, my toes are gray from too much smoking. Advice on how to regain color. Will stop smoking. There's your problem. Why do you smoking? Like, if you care about your health, quit smoking anything. Smoking's terrible for you. Just stop. There's your solution. Solutions, I have them. Right? Helping you guys out. They can't help themselves. They're depressed. Who are you talking about? Vaping is a bit better, but it's still not that good for you. It still has hurt a lot of people. So again, why do it? Just quit. Not that hard. Some party drugs. Well, yeah, one reason a lot of bodybuilders do that for competitions. That does happen. Unfortunately, that's actually really common. Again, why I tell people, man, people obsessive are getting ripped all the time and then don't realize the sort of crazy stuff a lot of bodybuilders have to do to get ripped. Being ripped is not all it's made out to be. Hey, Usam, I recommend that you don't be a pussy. Just go train. That's it. I heard Big Boy is on GLP-1 is now shredded. I didn't know that. I know that I saw some stuff come through my feed. He lost a ton of body fat. But I didn't know that he used GL. I had no idea what he did for his methods. Do you make all your clients use reverse hyper? If they have access to one, sure. What do you think about using nicotine to help with focus and appetite? I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. You shouldn't need to take any drugs to do that. I get a little bit of test. I understand some guys want a little test or a little growth hormone or something at the most, but keep those things in reason. And beyond that, guys, why are we messing with all these recreational drugs like nicotine and others? Just why? Kung Lao, good video on white rice. Good to see someone who isn't demonizing it, right? I mean, again, anyone who stands there and pulls this idea that white rice is horrible, how do they explain the entire continent of Asia? This is a problem. What's the lowest fat? I don't know what the lowest body fat I've gotten to is. Tea swizzle, caffeine is what Coach has. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. I drink coffee before I train. That's it. I drink black coffee. Afternoon, Coach. What's up, Lars? I think white rice goes so well with kidney beans, and if you boil eggs, it can, and lots of vegetables. Jordan takes a lot of Middle Eastern, smoke weed, vape, all that stuff. Yeah, they shouldn't know. So, well, then they need to not complain that they're unhealthy. Pretty straightforward. Like, again, if you care about your health and fitness, you don't do that stuff. Appreciate the super chat. My boy Blaha, sorry for asking off-topic questions yesterday. I'll do better deadlift daddy. Appreciate it, Green Pill. All good, man. Appreciate the super. How are the feet doing? Does your big toe? No, it doesn't hurt. I mean, if you saw the stream, I mean, I showed the foot. I had blood kind of splattered everywhere. But no, it doesn't hurt. It's just I hit the tip of the toe. It wasn't anywhere on the bottom. So, I mean, my sled work went fine today. Deadlifts went fine. I did all that stuff. I'll get the vlog up here in a bit. I'm going to run barefoot again tomorrow. I eat as much brown rice as I do white because I don't see colored, Coach. All right. Hey, that's fair, man. You're doing a colorblind, not trying to be racist against any type of rice. I think that's noble, man. All right. I'm gonna run eight in Miller this weekend and hoping to get 8 mile. Yeah, cool, man. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. Go get you a 8 mile run. So I have a hydration vest that carries 2 liters. All right. Do you really need that though for an 8 mile run? Big fans, Coach. Well, appreciate it, Hussein. Jazzy is saying, "Hey, Coach, yeah, you said that already." Jordan K says, "First time doing good mornings for deadlift accessory, regular barbell. Any tips on bar placement? You're gonna need a lower bar position. You're gonna have to get it pretty low bar." Sorry to go off topic, but my cat used to always watch your vlog. That's not fully off topic. He slapped at the screen when you did box jumps, but he passed away. Sorry about your cat's loss, man. Longtime member of Team Blaha. Hey, Sam, you know what? I'm sorry for your loss, bro. Sounds like your cat was definitely on board with Team Blaha. Jeff Nippard defends fake Natty because he's a fake Natty himself. I mean, that's the only explanation. He's been caught defending these fake natties at this point. And so what does that tell us? Everything we need to know. Appreciate the other super green pill. Jordan K said that makes sense. Thanks. Yeah. Otherwise, you try to high bar a good morning with a straight bar. I'm just kind of laughing. You can see I've done this. I have a little experience here. You try to high bar a good morning with a straight bar, it gets ugly real quick. He respected the athleticism. He was known to do a few box jumps himself. Yeah, cats are great jumpers, man. Dude, I've seen some cats who were crazy good jumpers. When I lived in the UK, one of our cats could make it to the top of the fridge from the floor. It was crazy. Didn't realize Jeff was so small in portion short. Yeah. Of course, I love deadlifts. All right, Coach, do you keep it fitness only on stream? Do you take any range of questions over? No, I try to keep it purely fitness. We keep it strictly fitness. Keep it strictly pimping. You know, fitness, whatever, man. You know what I mean. All right. Jeff Nippard and David Lade grew up watching and copying Coach Blaha. They did. David Lade gives credit, though, at least. That David Lade admits he got started with my free program. So, you know, he gives credit where credit's due. Luke over on the Facebook says, "Good morning. Question for you. What are your thoughts on meal supplements like coolness? It's garbage. You can get 40 grams per scoop, but some other nutritional components are useful." Now, dude, it's just a vegan protein powder, really meal replacement. No, eat foods, man. I'm not a fan of these sort of silly products. Overpriced junk. Just eat real food. Eat real food. Problem solved. Like, I think they're silly nonsense that doesn't need to exist. Right? We'd just be better off without it. David Lade has been collabing with Sam Sulik and Seagram lately. Let's see. Fake Natty Matt Does Fitness has recently tore his biceps, also used to comment on Jason's video. Yeah. And Fake Natty. Anyone who has a bit of a sweet tooth could eat a 22-gram protein bar daily. What? But you could eat an apple. You could eat a cantaloupe for your sweet tooth. That would work just as well too, guys. You could eat some high satiety fruit. Get them likes up there. Come on now. Yeah, Luke, I'm not a fan of those sort of silly meal replacements, man. Just eat food, right? It's not that hard to just eat real food. There's stuff you can mix up just as quickly that's not those replacements. Sell some Greek yogurt, peanut butter, a few oats, you're done. Like if you don't have time to cook, literally Greek yogurt, nut butters, fruit, no cooking required, takes a minute. Easy. Easy peasy. It's low cal and good nutrient. What are you talking about? Protein bars? I don't think so. This is on top of my normal meals. Mangoes are a solid choice. Top 3 exercises to create a physique that turns, I don't know about turning women on. Well, women like glutes the most. This has been studied. Women notice your butt first. So we're going to go with back squats. We're going to go with glute bridges. We're going to go with deadlifts. How's that? Right. So anything that builds the glutes. If your goal is to the muscle that women notice most, according to research, it's your butt. Train your glutes. Now, if you're just chasing like an aesthetic physique, I'm going to say pull-ups are near the top of the list. Pretty much build your chest and your lats, your shoulders. You know, I would lean in the direction of like incline bench, overhead pressing, definitely pull-ups though, up near the top of the list. But again, lats, and shoulders are really what's going to give you an aesthetic look up top if you're lean enough, but that's not what you asked. If for women, they notice butts. All right. A lot of junk foods now promote that they're high in protein as a market. Yeah, it's garbage. Just be aware that every woman you turn on 10 guys. Yeah, but if you train a lot. All right. Go back over to Facebook. So Luke is still there, but he didn't reply back. All right. Coach, how do I develop insane levels of strength on a low budget? I am talking about, I'm not reading out loud what you wrote. A protein. Yeah, but a lot of protein bars are full of all sorts of junk and sugar alcohols. And there's no point in it, man. Just eat a piece of meat. Eat a chicken breast or a steak in that case if you just want a protein bar, right? Why do women notice butts? Or do you want me to go into a whole possible explanation from evolutionary biology, or what are you looking for? Could be a sign of virility, thrusting power, all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of potential subconscious stuff there. But, they notice butts. Why do men notice butts on women? But in general, it's a sign of athleticism. It's a sign of overall fitness. And it's, again, other subconscious thing, thrusting power, hip extension. Luke says, sorry, didn't reply, was eating some real food. All good, brother. Doing what I'm telling you to do. Squats and deadlifts will build the rear to its fullest. They can. To some extent. We could argue this stuff all day long. Right? We could argue it all day long. I've heard of biceps and forearms too, maybe, but that's not what studies have shown. You could make a logical case for that, Jordan. I'm just going off the data I saw years ago. You think it's subconscious? Men notice guts that indicates hip size, which relates. Yeah. So, they'll notice the hip to waist ratio. Yeah, subconscious with women. So that's one theory. But women like butts. Yeah, I'm just going off data, man. Anecdote doesn't matter because I'm going to give all that. It's not necessary. Because anytime I give anecdote of any of that anyways, people just accuse me of lying. They're like, you've never been with a woman. We don't care that you've been married twice or you live with a stripper. You clearly have no luck with women. So we just don't go into that. It's irrelevant. The fitness channel anyways. Yeah, but this stuff could be a lot of variables because many women are different. Exactly. But I'm going off of what a study found in a survey many years ago that they noticed. Like this was in one of my psychology classes I took, you know. Yep. Oh, if we go off of that, if you want my personal anecdote, chest. My chest has been grabbed by more women, even ones I wasn't dating. So way up there. So, right. So yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I find the sound of the bike in your voice very soothing. Well, I'm glad to hear that. The butt is just weird. Well, why? Just saying, that's what a survey showed. And I've heard women talk about it too, actually, a number of women. They do notice and care. They do notice and care. Women are actually jealous if your butt is big. No, I don't think they are. I doubt it. Guys think it's not masculine to have boots, apparently, which is silly. So then, you know, American football, rugby, powerlifting, sprinting, all that stuff is not manly then. Right? Doesn't make any sense, right? Having athleticism is not manly. You know, hip extension is the foundation of almost every bit of athletic performance. Is it strangers they've grabbed? It's been both. So I had it happen several times in front of one of my exes. She didn't take it too well. Very much a jealous type. Boots are sick as hell, but I think women care about your upper body. Just saying they notice. You don't have to agree. I'm just telling you how it is. They do care. And again, I've heard many of them discuss it in conversations. So they do notice. They notice the butts of athletes in general. They'll comment on it, like watching different stuff with sports. Like they care. They notice. You don't have to agree. I'm just telling you the reality of it. You can be in denial of it all you want. If I can get more new to the reverse hyper, how should I progress on it? That's subject of a lot of controversy. You know what? Westside has all sorts of percentages and charts on it, Cameron. If you go to Westside's website where it was invented, they have lots of recommendations there. Well, I'm not going to go further into that, Rohan. I mean, you get the idea. I mean, I guess you don't know many women. So. Coach, you have said singles followed by hypertrophy work is good for size and strength. So how should we progressively overload work for singles if we want to get my squat? You do it as you're able to. Like, I'm not going to write out a whole programming approach for you in the middle of the live stream. Now, if you need an actual program, again, you can hit me up for a consultation this weekend. You've never heard women discuss men's butts. I've seen it in person. I've seen it on social media. So you just don't know many women then. All right. You do them as you are able based upon perceived exertion. That's the best way I can describe it in a live stream without sitting down and mapping it out for you as a client. You don't plan the progression. It's not like you say, I'm going to add exactly X amount of pounds, because you can't give no control over that. You're going to be able to add weight based upon your muscle and neurological gains, primarily muscle. So again, as we're saying, you could RPE it. You could say this feels about like 95%. I just hate the RPE chart. All right. I hate the idea of RPE. It's silly. Like, it's so arbitrary. I don't know, because I don't understand the RPE chart. I have no answer for you. I would never, if you're going to use an RPE at all, the only numbers that make sense are 9 and 10. I would never use anything else. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but Jordan, most guys lie about their height on the apps too. So over 6 foot means their average height. So keep that in mind. Look at surveys, and then the average guy has 3 inches. There's also been a survey of American men that showed that 30% of men believe they're at least 6 foot, when only 12% of men are 6 foot. Well, if you're on a dating app already, you already are screwed. Like, if you're resorting to dating apps as a guy, you're already at the bottom of the bucket. Do any of your clients not max? Well, plenty of my clients don't max. No, Harthel, I don't reload for business. It's just a hobby. My business is coaching. I literally coach for a living. Harthel, obviously, but this is not a pew pew channel. Let's not ask pew pew related questions, please. I'm gonna have to put you in timeout if you do. Fitness channel. That is a topic that will literally hurt my algorithm. So, first warning. Training humans in higher neuromuscular threshold limit sounds impressive and amazing science of nature. There we go. If you get ill with a cold, you still take off for a few days. I don't, because I don't really get sick. It's very, very rare. I just trained through it personally, since I train at home anyways. I trained with the Rona. I couldn't smell or taste anything, but I was still lifting. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying what I do, by the way. A client gets sick, I'm going to tell them to take a couple of days off. I don't be doing that personally. So do as I say, not as I do. All right. All right. That's a good rule. Do as I say, not as I do. How much time do you think it will take to cut 3 minutes off your 5K? I literally have no idea at all. I have no guess, no educated guess, no estimate, no approximation. Coach, which cardio is good, HIIT or list for cardio? I'm not a big fan of HIIT for the most part. All right, I have no idea. I haven't run in over 20 years. I literally have no idea how long it's going to take. I don't know what's so difficult to grasp about that. I'm not a running coach. So I don't program running really. It's not my expertise. Yeah, bro, I haven't run in over 20 years. I started again a month ago. I've made that very, very clear. I have not run in over 2 decades. Other than one time in the airport, trying to catch a flight. Does that count? Because I decided to lift instead. I discovered the joys of weightlifting. I lost well over 100 pounds running from being really fat and over 300 pounds. And then about 170, I was introduced to the joys of the barbell. I'm like, I'm not going to run anymore. I'm going to go lift. No, I chose to. No, I didn't have to. I just decided I would rather go lift weights. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a noob. I had no clue. I was a complete noob. So, no, I didn't have to. I just decided I think I would rather go do this instead. Now, if you're asking me to figure out my mindset 25 years ago, I don't have an answer for you. But I simply remember that being the case. No, I didn't run anymore. Coach, how do you do the perfect conventional deadlift? Yes, I have multiple tutorials on the conventional deadlift. All right. Yeah, that's probably enough for today. I think we're going to go ahead and wind this down. I need to get the vlog done. I need to get some breakfast sorted. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Let me in the Facebook first. Why is it not ending? Come on, Facebook.